serving up a warm dish of the Triads culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 140 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of February the 3rd through the 9th, 2020. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And we're opening the recipe box. Second verse, same as the first. The third verse will sound exactly the same as the first one. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable studio at the Lab at Industry Hill. I want to say that today, the 3rd of February, 2020, is the 10th anniversary of the very first episode of the Less Desirables podcast.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Brian Attridge and I stumbled around a 38-minute show, and the rest is history. Without that show, there would be no The Man Who Ate the Town podcast, The Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Sipping NC, Apartment 5B, the entire TLD network, probably none of the other podcasts that I have my hand in, at least not in the capacity that they are now. So, happy birthday to the Less Desirables.
That's pretty impressive. 10-year mark.
Yeah.
That's a real anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you. This Wednesday will be the 10th anniversary show. It will be episode 521 because 2014 had 53 Wednesdays. So I was trying to do the math, and I believe another one did, but I missed one Wednesday in that 10 years. I mean, not me personally. I missed a couple of Wednesdays, but only one show was missed.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
well,
bad.
No, that's some dedication there because I can't let shit go.
Yeah.
All right. So, Keene Classic Bakery has opened in the location that used to be Chelsea's Atelier and most recently Sweet Aromas. Let me first say I hope she saged the hell out of that spot. The last few ventures had some bad juju. Robin Shoemaker is in there after moving her business from King, hence the name, and into a larger space. When she's been at the newly rechristened Carolina Classic Fair, people would bombard her buying up her wares quickly. So here's hoping that the eclairs and pumpkin bread and all the things she does will be a big smash, and that this one sticks and nothing weird or crazy happens. I'm thinking this may be the winner. I'm hoping it is.
I'm open too.
Located at
We've talked about, do we really need another bakery downtown? And voila, we have a new bakery.
Yeah, and then there's, I believe something else is coming. DJ's Cheesecakes, or some cheesecakes by somebody. I've talked about it before. Is actually opening there on Trade Street. Right beside, between Single Brothers and WTOB. Hill's Lexington Barbecue closed for good last week. It's been in Winston-Salem for 68 years. It was up on Patterson Avenue. I think I went there one time back in the 90s. It was okay. I say it closed for good last week, but that's really not true. They closed for Christmas and just never reopened. They just announced last week. Because I know the patriarch of the family, Eugene Hill Sr., passed away on December 28th, and that was when Eugene Jr., his friends call him Slugger, decided it was time to just go ahead and put it to rest. Business had been down because, well, no one ever goes down Patterson Avenue between 52 and Germantown Road anymore, unless you're buying a mobile home.
Right.
That's the only thing they have down there. Yeah, no, nobody wants to be there. It's scary. Nobody wants to be there. That, and they had absolutely no social media. In this day and age, you have to have social media. I don't think they had a website. They had nothing that put them in the 21st century at all.
Well, it's one of those, they just absolutely refused to come into the current century.
Yeah.
They wanted to do it the way they've always done it. And they didn't see any reason to change it because they had a core of patrons that would come on a regular basis. But long term, it's just not a sustainable business model.
No, I mean, there are a couple of the authentic Mexican restaurants that I go to in this town that do not have social media, and I keep telling them I can't promote them properly unless they at least get a Facebook but preferably an Instagram page. There's no restaurant in this town that shouldn't have an Instagram page. Your medium is food. Post that stuff.
Right. Right.
Or at least let somebody else
with
do
our
it.
eyes first.
Yes, absolutely. So it's sad that they declined to the state where they just couldn't sustain. So I don't know. Speaking of barbecue, though, when I drove here before getting verbally accosted on the new Salem Parkway, that's a story for a different time. I drove by
Yes, it
Mr.
is.
Barbecue, and that building is gutted. It
Wow.
really is only the shell of the building, and it's really only like the facade of the front and like the very back. Nothing is on the inside. So I guess it's getting ready to be put back together and be all shiny and new. And I know the cooking method of the barbecue will be different, but I hope that they find a way to bring a whole new kind of charm to that place. I loved it. It was my favorite barbecue in town. I didn't cry, but did get a little teary-eyed and choked up whenever I heard that it was on fire. Mm-hmm. And as always, the more I know, you'll know. I'll keep you informed as I find out stuff.
I'm glad to see that they're moving along, though.
Let's see. I have the thing from Daniel because they have some wine dinners coming up. And he was going to come on, but he didn't feel good today. And he said he'd just soon not hack and cough into the microphone. And I thanked him for that. Thought it was,
Yes.
I was very appreciative of it.
There's some things we just don't need him to share.
That's right. Coronavirus or anything like that. Takate virus.
Exactly.
Whatever. Dos Equis virus.
It's the PBR virus.
Yeah. So they have an exclusive wine dinner on Tuesday the 11th, which is next Tuesday, with additional dinners on February 18th and 25th. The one on the 11th is $75 a person, with a surf and turf dinner paired with the fine Camus wines during each of the 4 courses. The dinner is held at select Carrabba's nationwide, and it will be our Carrabba's will be doing that. It says, join us for a night of indulgence featuring some of the best wines from the Wagner family. The highlights including Camus Suisun Grand Durif, Camus Napa Valley Cabernet, and an over-the-top lineup of chef-driven cuisine, Carrabba's said in their statement. The menu for the dinner is the pancetta and gorgonzola salad, yum, paired with the Conundrum Red Blend, rigatoni campagnolo, paired with the Camus Sassoon Grand Durif, the Surf and Turf, which is a 9-ounce wood-grilled Tuscan filet basted in Mr. C's, I guess that's Mr. Carrabba's, grill base, and a hand-formed lightly fried jumbo lump crab cake, served with
Boy,
grilled
that sounds good.
served with grilled vegetables, hopefully not asparagus, and is paired with the Camus Vineyards Cabernet Sauvignon. And then there's the wine poached pears and burrata with the Conundrum Red Blend. That's all for the 11th, and it starts at 6:30. So that's again at $75, and I believe if you go to, I believe the address is carrabbas.com/exclusive. Let's see. We'll find out.
Let's
Test.
find out.
1, 2, 3.
We are inquiring minds, and we want to know.
This is true. It must not be because it's taking forever. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, wait. What's going on? What's going on?
There's more.
Yes,
Now
it
I'll
is
let
the
you
Camus.
go.
So I guessed right. So carrabbas.com/exclusive. Or if you want to get exact, it would be reservations.thuzi.com/exclusive. But it forwards.
It sends you there.
And then the 18th and 25th are the same dinner twice, and these are $55 a person, stepping it up to 5 courses. So the starter will be the shrimp Raffaello bruschetta, paired with the Prosecco Kiss, house salad, paired with Decoy Chardonnay by Duckhorn. Scampi Damien with Antica Chardonnay. Antica makes great wine. Grilled Chicken Sorrento with the J. Lore 7 Oaks Cabernet. And a chocolate mousse that is paired with Elouan Pinot Noir. So it's
That really sounds good.
oh yeah, and I believe that one, if you go to carrabba's.com/wine dinner, see, that's what happens. Yep, look at me
We
and
have
my
confirmed.
infinite wisdom, or at least my remembrance to type in the same thing I typed last time. So
Your excellent recall.
yeah, that's right. It's Total Recall. Total Recall.
Total.
So yeah, obviously they make fantastic stuff. The one for the 11th is to play up on the Thanksgiving thing. I mean, not Thanksgiving, the Valentine's Day thing. Remember
Right.
Daniel was here and talking about not a fan of Valentine's Day. But this one
Yeah.
is in honor of the 11th one is. So give them a shot, give them a try, give them a taste, give them a like, give them a listen, whatever. Just go to the Carrabba's.
I want to say, if you take your lady friend, your SO, your hope to be to Carrabba's for that dinner in honor of Valentine's Day, man, if you don't come out of that with at least a kiss, then there's something seriously wrong with that relationship.
At least a kiss.
At least a kiss.
At least
Just going
a
to stop
kiss.
right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not going any further. The rest is up to you. Real quick before we move on to the holidays and stuff, yesterday, which Ray shocked me when he said he didn't watch it, was the Super Bowl. Go Kansas City Chiefs. For that, they were down by 10 with 6 minutes to go, come back and won by 11 in true Kansas City Chiefs fashion. My wife Stephanie made that we had the beer dads and a couple of my son and his girlfriend and her sister and a couple of other people over, and my wife made homemade barbecue. I made hello.
Big truck driving by. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Holly lumber.
That's all right. Well, it's got to get there somehow.
Yes, it does.
When I was younger, I used to complain about big trucks like that, even though my family owned them. And
Right.
he says, "Son, everything you do came on a truck like that." So, so I learned to just suck it up. I want stuff. So,
Yeah.
I made the in my family we call them tea biscuits, but they're really like ham and cheese sliders, and those came off really, really well. The friends brought some mac and cheese and bacon balls. They brought a spinach artichoke dip in a big piece of ciabatta bread. Desserts. We bought some pies this Saturday from Dana Moody over at West End Coffee House. And they were all the small pies, so we bought a dozen and just let people pick what they wanted.
Oh, cool.
And then I saw Daniel there, actually, and our friends Candy and Lori. It was just having a meeting of everybody there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's some places where that kind of thing just happens.
Yeah, the West End Coffee House is a perfect place for that to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had great food, great times, and it was a great game. No matter who won, it was a good game. It wasn't ridiculous like last year's game, the Snoozer Bowl. But it was yeah. This one was, I won't say down to the wire, but it could have been. And like I said, down by 10 with 6 minutes to go in the game and won by 11. So
That's a big turn.
yeah, oh yeah. And that's what the Chiefs have done all postseason. Every game this postseason, they were down at least by 10. The first, the divisional round, they were down by 24 and won by 20. And second, the championship game, they were down by 10, won by 10. And yesterday they were down by 10, won by 11. Patrick Mahomes MVP, well deserved. Andy Reid gets his first Super Bowl. It was his 222nd win, and now people can stop saying he couldn't win the big one because he did. And,
well, I understand this is the first time the Chiefs have had a title since '69.
Yeah, well, the Super Bowl was January the 11th, 1970, so it was 50 years. It was the 69 season, but it was the 70 that the Super Bowl happened. I wasn't even born yet, so I was born in November of that year. So
the youngest quarterback to ever receive MVP for the Super Bowl.
He was. He's also the first or the youngest. Okay, so he's the youngest to get the MVP for the Super Bowl. He's also the youngest to win both the MVP of the league last year and win a Super Bowl. So he's amazing. His dad, I don't know if you remember him. His dad, Patrick Mahomes Sr., actually was a pitcher for the Texas Rangers. So yeah, so sport.
He's
and he was drafted
got some big leagues in the family.
And he was drafted, I believe, by the Tigers in 2014, and then decided to go into football instead. So,
well, clearly he made a good choice.
Yeah, and he's just fun to watch, and he always keeps his cool, even when they were down. If he's not winning during the season, everything. Because I watched it. He was my fantasy football quarterback in both leagues, and he's just over on the side having fun. Even if they're down, even if they're losing, he's there and he's having fun, and that's addictive to the people around him. So it's easier for them to get into it and get behind him.
Well, it makes it everything is better when you just relax into it. You just go out there and have a good time, not getting all wound up. You know, when you're relaxed, you play better.
Yeah. And hats off to the 49ers, too. I mean, I can't stand the 49ers, but that's a Steelers thing because of all the Super Bowls they won. But, they are a great team, and it could very well be the 49ers and Chiefs again next year because they are amazing teams, both of them. And even though I didn't want the 49ers to win because I'm a Steelers fan, I would have been okay had they. Because it was still a good game. But
well, Chiefs showed they wanted it more.
That's true. All right, so let's do food holidays in history here. Today, the 3rd, is Carrot Cake Day.
Yes, love good carrot cake.
I like it with
raisins.
I like it with the cream cheese icing. That's my favorite part.
Has to.
And it's also the day the music died.
Oh, is today?
Yeah.
This
so bye
is the
bye,
day.
Miss American Pie. Yeah.
Throw the Chevy to the levee, and the levee was dry.
Yeah. In 1815, on the 3rd, the world's first commercial cheese factory was established in Switzerland.
Wow.
No word on the type of cheese. I'm figuring it's Swiss.
Probably wasn't Cheese Whiz.
Yeah, it's Cheese Whiz. Yeah, there. On the 3rd, on 1913, the 16th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified. It gave Congress the power to levy taxes on income. Boo hiss.
Yeah, really boo hit.
In 1913, less than 1% of the population paid income tax at the rate of 1%.
Wow.
In 1916, the Café Voltaire opened in Zurich, Switzerland. It became a meeting place for members of the Dada movement in art and literature.
Dada.
Dada. Dada.
Dada.
I wonder if it's still open. I forgot to look that up. On the 3rd, in 1959, it was the day the music died. Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, known popularly as the Big Bopper, were all killed in a plane crash near Mason City, Iowa. Ritchie Valens, obviously in the movie La Bamba.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. La Bamba. Yeah. Funny fact about that song, the first time I ever sang karaoke, it was at the Moose Lodge. And, you know, the Moose Lodge, they play a lot of country music, right?
Lot of country music.
So the first thing I sang actually was "Moving Out" from Billy Joel. But after the end of the night, I had one more song in me, and everybody was doing country. So I got up and said, "I've noticed that everybody's doing country music. Well, I'm going to do the same, just not from this country." And I did La Bamba. So, yeah.
Even as a kid, you're a rebel.
No, I was on the loose. You know, watch me. I'll eat an apple without wiping it off. I'll tear the tag off a mattress and dare anybody to say anything about it.
You live on the edge.
In 2006, on the 3rd, Del Monte announced it was no longer economically feasible to grow pineapples in Hawaii, and it would cease its Hawaiian pineapple operation in 2 years, and it did. The majority of their pineapples now come from Costa Rica and the Philippines. And
I guess property values in Hawaii got too high.
probably taxes, I would say.
Yeah.
As mentioned before, in 2010, the first episode of The Less Desirables was recorded and aired that very night. Yay!
And the world has never been the same.
Never been the same.
It's a little more twisted than it used to be.
That's true. Why do they come to me to die? Why do they come to me to die? On the 4th, it's Stuffed Mushroom Day.
Okay. I like stuffed mushroom.
I don't care either way.
I think they need a day, but I mean, I like them.
And it's Homemade Soup Day.
Okay.
I like.
Brought to you by the homemade soup industry.
Yes, all of them.
All of those people making soup at home and don't make any profit from it. They just eat it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for homemade soup.
It's probably more for like the local farmers and stuff of the things that you would put in the soup.
True. True.
But I like homemade soup. I like soup. I don't like soup from a can. I can't eat that. It tastes really too salty. Plus, I'm not allowed to have it. But I like soup. Tell you what, I had a great soup at Willow's Bistro this Saturday. It was a loaded baked potato.
Ooh,
and instead of bacon bits, Ryan, the bartender, actually took real bacon and crumbled it up and put it in there.
That's what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 4th, in 1854, Cadbury received a royal warrant. That's hard to say. Royal warrant as manufacturer of cocoa and chocolate to Queen Victoria.
Well.
They do make good chocolate. And I'm not talking about the eggs because, you know, what we get here, because true Cadbury chocolate is not allowed to be exported here or imported by us, exported by them. I don't know why.
It has to be in country.
Yeah. In 1870, what?
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, I mean, Cadbury owns like Dr. Pepper and 7-Up and all that stuff here. And they have their chocolate stuff here, but true Cadbury chocolate, like the English kind, is not here. It's made here, but not the kind that they make there and send here, which I understand is even better. On the 4th, in 1879, John H. Heinz received a patent for an improvement in vegetable assorters. So it means machines for assorting vegetables, fruits, pickles, whatever, according to their size. Because many people know Heinz for their ketchup and things, but in the 57 sauce. But a lot of people don't know that they start off actually as a pickle company.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. In 1887, an Interstate Commerce Act created the Interstate Commerce Commission to regulate railroads, the first industry to be subject to federal regulation, and it certainly was not the last.
No. It was a slippery slope from there.
Yeah, very slippery. In 1930, on the 4th, candy maker Frank C. Mars of Minnesota introduced the Snickers bar.
Oh, yeah.
I love a good Snickers bar.
It's my favorite candy bar.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, there's some really good ones out there. I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're not, but I love the Snickers, and I love it frozen.
Okay. So not the Snickers flavored ice cream bars, but actual Snickers that are frozen.
Yeah, you freeze them, and before you unwrap them, you smack them a couple times with a hammer.
Okay. Break them up. I bet that would be good
it's,
for.
it's hard to bite through.
Oh yeah, I bet.
True.
I bet it would be good for a Milky Way or Three Musketeer as well.
Yes. Actually, I have done all of that, and yeah, it's really good. But the Snicker one in particular, somebody introduced me to that 30 years ago. Love it. Oh, a great present.
One of my favorite candy bars is the Zero bar, but you don't like white chocolate.
Oh.
But
I've had the Zero. They're good.
yeah, I like Snickers probably the best if I'm going with candy bars. Reese's peanut butter cups are big for me. But Snickers probably my favorite. But then there's the Zero bar, and it's just because I remember them from when I was a kid.
Well, you're right. The Reese's Cup definitely deserves Hall of Fame status.
Yeah, it's Mount Rushmore there.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason that you would have to choose between a Snicker or the Reese's Cup. You should have them both.
That's true.
It's not either or, it's both and.
Well, because Snickers has peanuts.
Yes.
There you go.
And so does Reese's Cup. And they both have chocolate,
Yeah.
but
See,
they're
your
done
cousins.
differently. The emphasis is different. So they're you must appreciate them for what they are.
Yeah, they're distant cousins. In 1941, on the 4th, Roy J. Plunkett received a patent for Teflon, a new composition of matter which is highly resistant to corrosive influences and to oxidation, which can be molded and spun and put to a wide variety of uses where its peculiar properties would be advantageous.
Yep. Including our pots and pans, and apparently now we all have Teflon in us.
Yeah. He had discovered it by accident in 1938, so 3 years later, he decided to go ahead and get that in his
Let me
name.
profit from this accident.
Yeah. In 1998, Bill Gates was hit with a cream pie in Brussels. The person responsible for the event was Noel Godin, whose hobby is throwing cream pies or cakes at celebrities. He has written a book about his adventures.
Oh, well. Okay.
Okay.
I'm the cream pie guy.
Yeah. Some people are napkin notes guys. Some guys are the cream pie guys. In 2013, France overturned a 200-year-old law that banned women from wearing trousers.
Yeah, it's time to get rid of that.
Yeah. I think people were completely ignoring that.
Oh,
Because I was in France in 2013, and women wore trousers everywhere.
but it was still on the book, so it was time to get rid of it.
Yeah. And also in 2013, on the 4th, Canada, I say Canada, Canada withdraws the penny from circulation. I wish we would.
It doesn't have value anymore.
No,
It's not worth a penny.
it's not worth a penny. It costs 3 pennies to make it.
So how do you justify that at all?
Because
So yes, we'd have to round things up to the nearest 5, but
yeah,
is that really that big a deal?
because public outrage would be ridiculous. That's all I can figure.
Yeah, but at a certain point, this is my experience with humanity and change. We don't want it. We don't want it. No. Okay, fine. You're going to force us. We'll take it. And then somebody comes in and says, hey, that thing that you changed, that you fought so hard against, guess what? We can change that now. We can get rid of that. Oh, no. You can't change this. I like it this way. You can't. I've got to have it this way.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, people. Once they get used to it, they're fine.
they're
So
just they
make
have an
believe.
aversion to change at all. Regardless,
Yeah.
positive, negative, whether they liked it, didn't like it, it was something different, and they don't want it.
So move on and let it be okay. Because
Exactly.
guess what? The one thing we have in life that's constant is change.
Change. Yeah. On the 5th of February, it's Chocolate Fondue Day.
Ooh, yeah.
Not just chocolate, but melted chocolate that's like a river, and you pick it up and it just drips down.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a great place in Greensboro for that.
Yeah, the melting pot, right?
Yep.
World Nutella Day.
Oh, see, you could put that in your chocolate fondue and eat it.
And smoke it. As we all know, Nutella is a commercial brand of paste made from chocolate and hazelnuts. It's used in flavoring pastries, candy making, or just spread on bread or toast, or just eat it with a spoon.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of the world thinks of that as peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's their version of peanut butter.
Yeah.
And you know what? A hazelnut spread and a peanut butter spread together. It's pretty good.
Now you're just being nutty.
Yeah, yeah.
On the 5th, in 1644, the first livestock branding law in the American colonies is passed in Connecticut. All cattle, sheep, or swine over 6 months old must be earmarked or branded. The fine for non-compliance was 34 cents per head. In 1644, 34 cents was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
So I'm pretty sure they all were branding or tagging.
I mean, you could have bought a Snicker bar for that back in that day.
You probably could have, well, they
So
didn't
they
have
didn't have
Snickers, but if they did, you could probably buy, at 34 cents, you could probably buy about 20 of them.
Yeah. And that would be a really good choice how to spend your money.
Yeah. You're hungry? Why wait? In
Eat a
1907,
Snicker.
Frederick Martin, Sr. of Columbus, Ohio, received a patent for a washboard, the improved metallic plate having a series of staggered projections upon the face thereof, adapted for use as a rubbing plate for washboards. And the
country
band
music was never the same.
I was about to say, West Virginia music was never the same. Let's turn the wash tub over, put a stick in it, and a big string.
Yep. Dum, 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 dum.
I tell you though, nothing in West Virginia music has the impact of spoons.
Oh, yeah. Spoon Man.
I used to play spoons.
Really?
Yeah, not very great, but I was able to do them. In 1953, on the 5th, rationing of sweets ends in Great Britain. Why did their teeth are already bad enough? Why are you keeping them from having? I don't understand that because they didn't fluoride their water for one, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know. In 1981, a new record Jell-O mold was created in Brisbane, Australia, using 9,246 gallons of Jell-O.
Wow, that's a lot of Jell-O.
Yeah.
And immediately had the entire wrestling league come in and
Let's tear this thing up, man.
yeah, belly flop.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Looks like Lucinda's going to take this one. In 2010, 5 crates of Scotch whiskey and 2 of brandy buried under ice for more than 100 years were recovered by a New Zealand team restoring an Antarctic hut used in 1909 by polar explorer Ernest Shackleton. So Ernest Shackleton was a bit of a sot,
Apparently.
and I would love to have tasted that Scotch.
Oh yeah.
If it's
no kidding.
unopened, it would be great. Once you open it, not so great. The 6th,
But at least for that moment.
yeah.
That moment.
Yeah. On the 6th, it's Frozen Yogurt Day. Froyo. I like Froyo.
I mean, yeah.
Its fad has passed, it seems, but it was cool while it lasted. See what I did there?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that until it come out of my face, but okay.
It worked.
It worked.
It was cool.
It was cool, man, cool. And on the 6th, it's also National Chopsticks Day.
Okay.
I like eating
Like
with
the
chopsticks.
musical, the composition or the utensil.
I don't know. I think it's the eating utensils.
Okay.
In 1829, Bollinger, Renaud and Company was established, producers of Champagne Bollinger in the village of Aix in Champagne, France. Bali, as they call it now.
The village of I.
Yeah, A-Y. I guess it's A. A, village of A? I?
Hey.
That's the Fonz.
That's where the Fonz is from.
It's his favorite. It's his favorite city. Hey. In 1865, a horse meat banquet is held at the Grand Hotel in Paris. I do not understand the backlash towards horse meat and what makes them any different than a cow. I mean, why do we have
like
this?
them better.
Well, why? But why?
Because there's more intelligence behind the horse.
I don't think so. I think that horse is just as dumb as that cow.
Yeah, we can train horses. We don't really train cows.
Have we tried to train cows?
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never tried to train a cow.
When I was in Europe, I did not have any horse meat, but just because I didn't come across any. Had I found it, I would have eaten it. You know, for everybody else besides here, horse meat is meat.
Right.
So, I would think, though, it seems like it would be a little tough. Because horses are all, you know, muscular, and cows are a bit more flabby, you know.
But, you know, same kind of cultural restrictions, I guess, as you might experience in some other countries. I mean, like India, I realized they see the cow as sacred. We don't see the horse as sacred. But, you know.
We the horse is more like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the cow is more like Junior Samples to it.
I'll be right back.
Watch me run this race. In 1894, in Ontario, Canada, votes in favor of alcohol prohibition, but you know, these are the crazy, wacky Canadians that in Ontario. I guess it's better than the Quebec Providence, because those guys are really nuts. But Ontario, I don't know. No alcohol prohibition. I just no. In 1985, Perrier introduced Perrier with a twist of lemon, its first new product in 125 years. I like it with a twist of lime better.
With the little lemon twist.
With the lemon twist, man. In 1989, about 11:30 a.m. in the town of Rosewood, Queensland, Australia, a light rain of hundreds of small fish was reported to police. Weather experts...
A light rain.
A light rain of bream.
Here they come. Not sure of it. Oh, look, there's a mackerel.
Holy mackerel.
But it came from heaven, so it's a holy mackerel, yes.
So weather experts in Australia believe the fish were sucked up in a thunderstorm before being dumped over the tiny town.
Yeah. Water spout or something makes... I mean, you see how it could happen.
Oh, yeah.
But it is kind of weird just to get, you know, oh, we had a light fishy rain this afternoon.
Yeah. What's that smell? It smells like fish.
Much better than that week. You remember the squid rain? That was nasty. I didn't like that at all.
Squid rain's not good. On the 7th of February, it's Fettuccine Alfredo Day. I like good fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah, me too.
I like it extra creamy. I don't like it clumpy. I don't like it powdery. I like it extra creamy. That, to me, that's what makes it. It's also...
With some good grilled chicken, some mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, I can leave the mushrooms out, but the peas are fine. It's also bubblegum day.
Maybe not at the same time that you're having the creamy Alfredo.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, that would really suck.
That's not a flavor savor that you would want to.
No. Chicken bubbles. Ooh!
In 1904, the Great Baltimore Fire destroyed more than 1,500 buildings in central Baltimore, raging from Sunday morning until 5 p.m. on Monday. On the 7th in 1943, shoe rationing began in the United States, limiting purchases to 3 pairs of leather shoes per year, which is odd because I limit myself to 1 pair every 3 years. So,
You could triple the amount of shoes you purchase each year.
Yeah,
The government has given you permission.
yeah. That's funny. In 1964, Baskin Robbins introduces Beetle Nut ice cream as the Beatles land in JFK Airport in New York for their first U.S. tour. Capping on in 1989 for the Rosewood, Queensland, Australia part, it's mentioned that in Ipswich, Australia in 1989, on the next day, it was a rain of sardines. So perch the day before, sardines the day after, in a whole different area of Australia. Okay.
Weird stuff happens on the south end there.
Yeah, sounds like it. On the 7th in 1992, the Maastricht Treaty was signed. That's the treaty on the European Union in the Netherlands, creating the European Union.
And Britain just left.
Yeah, which, as someone who loves Scotland, and when we were there getting married, it was a month before the vote to stay with England or not, and we were all like, "Oh, you gotta stay there. You gotta stay there." And they voted to stay, and then Brexit came along, and the Scottish are like, wait. We wanted to stay in the EU. That's why we want to stay with you. So now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's another secession referendum that comes for them to try to secede again, because they wanted to be part of the EU.
Right.
Because if they had seceded, they would have lost their EU status as well. So they said, okay, we'll stay because of that. And now England has poo-pooed that. In 2018, on the 7th, according to a study published in Nature Journal, all citrus fruits can trace their origin to the southeast foothills of the Himalayas about 8 million years ago.
Well, who knew?
The people in the
best growing place for citrus is in the cold Himalayan.
Well, but that was 8 million years ago. I don't think that's true now.
Then.
Yeah.
It wasn't as cold then.
That's true. And it probably was not in the same spot either.
Correct.
On the 8th of February, it's Molasses Bar Day. I don't think that means like a place you go get molasses and sit back and throw them back. Well, you wouldn't throw them back. You just let them drip back. I think it's making like candy bars.
Like candy bar.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another one of those things that its time has passed.
Molasses?
Molasses bars.
Let's see.
I don't remember ever even seeing a molasses bar.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it looks like a brownie, but it's made with molasses. So I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, molasses makes a good ingredient. I use it in my cornbread. I think it makes really good cornbread.
I'm not a huge fan of cornbread myself.
Well, then you haven't had mine. You'd be a big fan of that, I'm sure. Big fan. Big fan.
Well, I am big.
Well, and my cornbread is amazing.
I'll take your word for that.
It's
And then
it's-
if you ever bring it to me, I will try it.
all right.
On the 8th, in 1839, American and Canadian loggers clash in the Aroostook War, sometimes called the Pork and Beans War, over the boundary between the British colony of New Brunswick and the U.S. state of Maine along the St. Croix River. The U.S. and Britain settled the bloodless dispute with the Webster-Ashburton Treaty signed in 1842. So they just stood there and yelled at each other across the, you Canuck, you crazy Brit.
Not pass. Mine, yours.
In 1898, John Ames Sherman of Worcester, Massachusetts, received a patent for the first machine to fold and seal envelopes. Why do we
Okay,
know that?
and the direct mail industry was born.
Yeah. In 1910, on the 8th, the Boy Scouts of America was incorporated. In 1922, President Warren G. Harding had a radio installed in the White House.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't
Yeah.
even 100 years.
Yeah,
On the 9th,
cool.
it's National Pizza Day, because it should be every day.
yeah. I'll say we should have more than one,
It's also...
and we do actually. We have different types of pizza day.
That's true. We had what was the one without sardines? The one that no pineapples.
Yep.
They were very specific with their pizza. The 9th is also National Bagels and Lox Day, which I can get behind because I like
Yeah.
bagels and lox.
I do too. I didn't think I would. I was like, ugh, it's fast. But then I tried it. And I was like, this is really good.
Yeah, smoked salmon, man. That's the way to go. In 1889, the United States Department of Agriculture was established as a cabinet-level agency. In 1894, Hershey's Chocolate Company was founded as a subsidiary of Milton S. Hershey's Lancaster Caramel Company, and you have rejoiced every day since.
Yes, it is one of the high holy days of the year. We mark the date that it was born.
Yeah, that's the 9th, so I expect to see some kind of rejoicing and being glad in it type things happening.
There will be chocolate consumed on that day.
As every day.
Well, yeah. There's already been chocolate consumed today.
In 1943, on the 9th, Harry and David Holmes from Bear Creek Orchards registers the Harry and David trademark for fresh fruit delivery. Every year, my brother-in-law gets my parents and us pears. You always had the one that's wrapped in gold foil. In 1960, on the 9th, Adolf Coors, the grandson of the Coors Brewery founder, was kidnapped and held for ransom. He was later found shot to death.
It's a tragic story.
Yeah. Probably like, wow, you make such crappy beer. All right,
If
so
he'd
that's
been
your...
around longer, he might have made better beer.
Yeah, if you let him go, he might have done better. That's your food histories and history for this week, your holidays and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ayler at Food Reference for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, make Ray's mouth water, make us wondering about molasses bars, why horse meat is so frowned upon, and other curiosities.
Like, why can't we really get Cadbury's here? I want the real Cadbury's. I want to know the difference.
Yeah. We demand.
Thanks, James.
We demand to know why the Cadbury's not here. That bunny's been lying to us all these years. Well, all right. So the Man Who Ate to Town podcast is part of the Les Desirables Podcast Network, celebrating its anniversary today. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Les Desirables, Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Apartment 5B, Beeswax Vinyl, and more. Sipping and See the Art of Drinking coming soon. You can find all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll find social media links to each one there as well. We'd greatly appreciate if you visit our sponsors, like the aforementioned Carrabba's Italian Grill, located 587 South Stratford Road. Let Daniel demonstrate what a responsible, large-scale family of restaurant looks like. And Carrabba's takes the community it serves very seriously, and having a fantastic franchisee like Daniel certainly does not suck. Follow Carrabba's on social media and Carrabba's.com, and remember the wine dinner that's next Tuesday, $75 per person. It's surf and turf with great wines. That's Carrabba's.com/exclusive. And then the ones on the 18th and 25th are Carrabba's.com/wine dinner. Washington Perk Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street. You'll find a little bit of everything there at the Perk. Local fruits and veggies, meats, dairy from local sources, Bingo Bango sodas, Wolfie's custard, and more. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store. Well, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they're Washington Perk. And on Instagram, they're Washington Perk _DTWS. The Humble Bee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. You need to go to Instagram right now and look up the Humble Bee Shop. That's with 2 P's and an E. Brittany is whipping up the batter on some delicious desserts, cakes, muffins, be it regular, vegan, or gluten-free. Humble Bee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram, or visit thehumblebeeshop.co.
That's easier for me to say, apparently. SHOPPE.co.
Keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about food, news, and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email, tim@themanwhoatethetown.com, or on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter Instant Messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are manwho8thetown. On Instagram, we are manwho8thetown. And now we invite you to call and leave a voicemail for the podcast. Actually, any podcast on the TLD network. You can call 336-422-8682. That's right, 336-422-NUM. Leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422-NUM, 8682. My name is Tim.
That's classic. My name's Ray.
We're closing the recipe box. Until
Please.
next time, call us on 422-NUM.
No.
Until next time, thank you for reading and thank you for listening. Bon appetit.
Yamas.
The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.